everyone, this is Anna Runyan from Classy Career Girl Academy, and today we're going to take a closer look at our resumes and make sure that we're following all the rules so that we get a call back the next time we submit our resume for a job application. So I've spent many years working my resume, and I've reviewed it with career coaches and also with many executives that I've done informational interviews with, and kind of taken all their feedback and put it into my resume now. So I wanted to show you my resume because when I first started in the professional world, I found it very helpful to look at other people's resume templates and kind of follow their template, especially if they were getting calls back. So I do get calls back on my resume, so it is a good template to use, and I really wanted to show it to you so you have something to go off. So I really hope it helps you. Even if you don't have a resume, I hope it helps you create one. If you do already have a resume, hopefully you'll see some things that you can maybe add or take away on your current resume to make it even better. So the first thing you'll see at the top is I like to use a highlight section in order to grab attention, and I use words that help them put a face to my resume. So right here I put in what I'm really good at and what my expertise is so that they know that right away and they don't have to look through my entire resume to figure out what I could do well at and how I could help their company. And I also put my years of experience in here as well. So another thing that I do is I brag about how awesome I am, and that is what you need to do as well. So I put in here how well I've done on my blog because I want other people to know that. So now is not a time to be shy. On your resume, brag about how awesome you are. And also down here, you want to quantify results whenever possible, like cost savings, productivity. Did you increase job satisfaction of employees, new hire retention, customer satisfaction? Did you save the company thousands of dollars? If so, put it in here. So right here I put implement process changes that resulted in 90% on-time deliveries of communication systems to 8 Navy ships. Put in numbers because that helps a lot. It helps the eye kind of see, when they're scrolling down the screen. And also you want to make sure you answer the question, so what? So right here, if I would have just put develop change strategies to provide an annual cost savings of $2 million to the government, and if I would have stopped there, I wouldn't have answered the question, so what? But instead I kept on going, meeting the Navy's budget, goals, and objectives. And that's the so what. And that's so important. So you also want to make sure you add value to every company you worked for. So every job you have listed on your resume, you want to make sure you show how you added value so that the new company can see how you can add value to their company as well. So I also wanted to show you something I did not do very well on my resume. So right here I just have established financial plans for clients including retirement, insurance, and tax planning. Well, that doesn't answer the question, so what? Because I'm just listing my responsibilities and I'm not listing my achievements. So you really want to make sure you list your achievements, not just the tasks and the responsibilities that you have. And you also don't need to list all of your work experience on your resume just because you have it. If it doesn't apply to the job that you're applying to, you don't need to list it. So you also want to make sure that all of your bullets line up and that everything looks very neat and organized. And make sure you look and see if every term is parallel. So right here, since this was in the past, everything I show here, all the verbs, are in past tense. But on the front page, since I still work here at Booz Allen Hamilton, everything here is in the present tense. So you really want to make sure that everything is parallel. And also feel free to add in a few extras to show that you are unique and memorable. And that's what I did down here because I put that I was a big sister at the Big Sister League of San Diego. So when you're creating your resume, you want to make sure that you look at the job description very closely and you use the keywords that are in the job description. So you'll see here I highlighted on this sample job description all of the keywords that I need to have in my resume if I was going to submit my resume for this job. So you should have a different resume for every job application that you're applying to because there's different keywords that you will most likely need to include in your resume. So you also want to make sure everything in your resume correlates to this job that you're applying to. And you want to make sure that you've met the minimum qualifications and the additional qualifications if possible. And those are almost always in the job description. So if you think you're done, make sure you complete these last few steps before you submit your resume. So these are really important and they're almost always forgotten. So have you had someone that you trust proofread your resume and provided you with their input? And have you proofread it one last time? Have you spell checked your resume? Are there any blank spaces that you can delete on your resume? And is it possible to condense it to just one page? Did you include any acronyms that the average person wouldn't understand? You have to remember that your resume may go to HR first. And so if you have a lot of acronyms that HR isn't going to understand, you need to make sure you spell them out. Also, think about your resume itself. Is your resume boring? Because your resume doesn't have to be boring. Pretend you were hiring yourself. What type of resume would you want to look at? I recently had a friend who was applying to more of a creative and artistic job, but she had a boring resume, just a plain old white and black resume. And I challenged her to come up with something more fun for your resume. Put a picture in there. Put some design around it. It doesn't have to be boring. And is your resume just a list of things that you hate to do? Maybe you're good at them, but you just hate them. If so, you need to reevaluate the job that you're applying to. And then look over your resume and see if it's easy to read. So I hope these tips have helped you today, and I will see you next time at Classy Career Girl Academy. Bye!